up in the morning, you grab your phone and you're scrolling through the beautiful pictures on social media, admiring the perfect videos and the amazing lifestyles. You're beginning to put yourself in their shoes, wishing you were them. Is this habit growing you, or is it drowning you? Is your view and your relationship with social media beginning to affect the way you see yourself and your self-worth? Are you beginning to attach your self-worth to how many views you have, how many likes you get, and how many subscribers you have? This is The Vibes Show. I'm your host, Favor Daramola. Sit tight, don't go anywhere, because we're going to be diving into this topic in a jiffy. This is The Vibes Show. Alright, so the major focus of our discussion today is the question: is social media building you up, or is it tearing you down? Is social media building us up, or is it tearing us down? So we're going to be examining the topic, the pressure to be perfect online, curating perfection versus reality. So when you view social media posts and you see people's perfect lifestyles, in quotes, because there's really no perfect lifestyle, right? People put the highlights of their lives on social media. Nobody really puts their down moments, when they are sad, when things are not working fine. They don't put all those moments on social media, but they highlight the beautiful parts. They plan for the perfect pictures, have striking poses and all of that, and make their lives look picture perfect and put that on social media. And when we view, we begin to compare our lives and ourselves with the people we see on the screen, not knowing that most of these things are really not true. So a lot of times, if we compare what people post online to their behind the scenes and the things they had to do to get those pictures out there, to get those videos out there, we wouldn't believe it. And that's where the deception comes in. So there's a lot of deception on social media. Which is why the seemingly perfect lifestyles we see are really not the reality, or are usually not the reality. The illusion of a perfect lifestyle makes others feel inadequate. And this leads us to our next point, the comparison trap. So when we compare ourselves with the people on social media, it begins to make us feel, I am not good enough, right? So that feeling of I'm not good enough begins to creep in. And it also leads to mental fatigue, or the scrolling fatigue. Some people call it the scrolling fatigue. Some people also call it mindless scrolling. When you are just scrolling for no reason, just scrolling mindlessly and admiring the beautiful pictures, liking, sharing, mindless scrolling. It leads to mental fatigue, and it leads you feeling unmotivated. So then you're not able to do the important things that you're actually supposed to be doing, because you are so busy and so engrossed in admiring other people's lifestyles on your screen. Are you used to the dopamine hits of getting likes on social media? Does how many likes you have, how many views you have on your videos or on your content determine how you feel per time? This could be a pointer to addiction. It could be a pointer to the fact that you're being addicted, or you're getting addicted to the validation that you get from social media. And if you can relate to this, it might be a good time to take a step back from social media altogether, and reevaluate your decisions and your choices, and see how you can better structure your lifestyle and your use of social media, so that it doesn't begin to affect you mentally and doesn't begin to affect how you see yourself, because that's an addiction trap right there. The conversation is getting heated, and we just looked at the pressures of social media. In the next segment, we are going to be looking at the benefits and how we can actually use social media as a tool for good. Don't go anywhere, because we will be right back. Welcome back to the Vibes Show. Before we went on the break, we talked about the pressures of social media. Now we're going to be examining how we can control our experience on social media and use it as a tool for good. So we're going to be flipping the scripts now and examine how we can channel social media positively for our own good. So the first point, we're going to be looking at how we can use social media as a tool for growth. We can use social media as a tool for growth in business, in ministry. We can use it even as an influencer, right? Positively. We can use it to inspire others. We can even use it to reach out to people. You can use it as a tool for networking, right? To build our network and our net worth. We are also going to look at how to establish positive habits on social media. One thing that I do personally, because my work as a business owner requires me to be on social media, and one thing that I do personally is using the time limit, right? The time limits or the time tracker on social media. For Instagram, for example, you can set a time limit for maybe 15 minutes or 30 minutes daily, and ensure that once that time limit is up, you do not exceed it. Because automatically on Instagram, for example, once you hit your 15 minutes for the day, they're going to tell you, oh, your 15 minutes time limit for the day is up, and they'll log you out. But it's your choice, right? You can still decide to say, okay, I still have some things to do on here, and you continue scrolling. But that's up to you, and that's where discipline comes in. While Instagram has a tool to help ensure that we have a healthy time balance, right, on social media, it's still up to you to decide what you want to do and how you want to use your time on social media. Okay, and then we're also going to look at it from the perspective of how it affects how we see ourselves and our self-worth. Using myself again as a practical example, I'm a fervent believer in Christ, and I know that I do not get my self-worth from what social media says about me or what people say about me online, but from Christ. My identity is not found on social media, on how many views or followership I have, but in what God says about me. So I know that God's view of me is not based on filters or algorithm or how many followers I have. I know that He created me on purpose, for a purpose. Social media is just a tool. It can build you up or it can break you down. Choose authenticity over perfection. Choose peace over pressure, and choose truth over trends. So I talked about a challenge earlier, and to wrap this up, I'll be giving a 7-day challenge. If you can take up this personal challenge to go on a 7-day social media detox. So for 7 days, you don't go on any social media platform. If you have a business or you have any form of activity that requires you to make consistent posts every day, you can schedule your posts. You can search online on how to schedule posts. There are tools that enable you to schedule posts in advance so that you don't have to be physically online every time you want a post to go up. So you can schedule your posts in advance, and you can go on this challenge for 7 days on all social media platforms. Decide not to go online. You can also decide to embrace a more structured approach on how you relate with social media, so that it's not consuming so much of your time and you're not beginning to link your self-worth or attach your self-worth to what's going on there. All right, let's keep the conversation going. Remember that you are more than social media feeds. Social media does not define your self-worth. So social media does not define how you should value yourself. It is a tool, and we should always treat it as that. All right, let's keep the conversation going. Stay connected with us. Remember, you are not defined by social media. Keep winning, keep dominating. Remember, you are valued, you are loved, and you are great. Stay winning, and we'll see you next time on The Vibes Show. Bye for now.
The Vibes with Favor Daramola will continue in the next episode.